I wanted to add some molding to the back wall on my accent wall that I painted beige, and the molding that I wanted was only available online. I wanted this molding to kind of flank my headboard. So the first thing we did was we brought our headboard back in and we centered it up on the wall so it fit perfectly. I also purchased artwork that I wanted to hang above our bed. So that was really important to kind of get that centered up as well. We put tape down to mark where our headboard is. We also decided how high we wanted the molding to be from our headboard and from the ceiling. So we started by making the cuts on the molding and doing the center section just to kind of figure out what we were doing and how this was going to work. We cut all of the pieces at a 45-degree angle. When we went to put the pieces on the wall, we also used our Roby nailer to hold them in place. And then to make sure that they were nice and straight, we used a level. And then we also used a board on the side just to make sure that it was squared and nice and straight. I think probably that top section was the hardest one just because it was our first one and we were kind of figuring it out. Once we got that in place, we wanted to do 2 rectangles on the sides. So we went through and figured out our measurements, where we wanted the pieces to lay, and then made sure that we had enough pieces, which we did. So I measured correctly before we got started. And then we made all of our cuts. Next, we went in and nailed all the pieces to the wall. Now, after you're done putting all your pieces up, this really honestly didn't take us very long to do, and it made a huge difference. In the next steps, we're going to fill the holes. We're also going to use caulking along the inside and outside of the molding. The next thing I like to do is touch-up paint. So I will cover all of the nail holes. I painted the molding, and I ended up doing 2 coats on the molding. And then I also go over the top of the baseboards where we put the caulking down, just to make sure that everything looks nice and fresh. And this does take a little bit of time, but it's so worth it, and it makes everything look great. Now, not every wall art piece has to take a lot of time or be super complicated. I found these 4 frames that I thought would be perfect in this guest bathroom that I was redoing at the lake. I picked them up kind of at like a vintage market that I went to, but the frames for them were not that cute, so I wanted to update the frames. So I took all of the contents out of these frames. And then I spray painted the frames with 2 coats of a white matte spray paint. Once that dried, I put all of the contents back in, and then I used command strips to hang them back on my wall in a grouping of 4. When I got the tapestry, it was all folded up and there was a lot of crease marks on it. So I went through and used my steamer and my iron to get out all the crease marks. If you end up leaving those in and you hang it up, it's just not gonna look good. I did at the end steam it as well because some of the creases were hard to get out, but just try before you put it all together to get all of the creases out before you even start this project. So I needed to create a frame to hang the tapestry on. This is really easy to do. All you need are 4 boards, and I like to grab just like the scrap boards at Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, and I get the 1x2 inch boards. So I laid out my tapestry, and then I put my boards around the edges of the tapestry. And I marked the boards where I needed to cut them to where I could fit the tapestry around the edges and staple it in place. Next, I took my framing boards and I cut them down to size. Then all you're gonna do is put them together like a big box, and then you're going to drill holes in the edge and add in your screws. It's really easy to create a frame. Now to assemble this, you're going to lay your tapestry flat on the ground with the side that you want to show facing down. You're going to put your frame on the back side. Then you're going to set your frame on top of that. Now start at one area of your tapestry and you're going to fold it over to where it's just on the top edge, and you're going to staple it in place. I will link to the staple gun that I use in the description box, and any other project that you see in this video, plus what I'm wearing, I always put it down in the description box. Now you're going to go to the opposite side that you just stapled on, and you want to concentrate on pulling the fabric as tight as possible, wrapping it up and stapling it in place. And you'll do it all along that side. Then take the tapestry and put it upright to staple the sides. It's really important at this step that you just pull it as tight as possible without, giving it any like weird creases, but you want the tapestry to be flat across the front. So as flat as you can get it will work great. After you get all four sides stapled, just go back in and cut off any excess fabric. Next, you can just use a simple screw to hang this on the wall. And if you still have any creases, just go back in with your steamer and steam them out. And for under $20, I have a huge wall art piece. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.